Can I take a look at the
texture?
Yep.
This material is Vectran, and Vectran, an interesting feature of Vectran is it gets stronger the colder it gets. And since we're going high altitude, it gets very cold up there, -20, -30, depending on the time of year, -50 to -70. So getting a material that gets stronger the colder it gets is pretty important. Vectran was also used in the Mars landings a couple of years ago with Spirit and Opportunity when they had those great big balloons, airbags. When they hit the Martian surface so fast, they relied on Vectran. So it's a pretty important material, super, super strong. This is what we're going to use for our first experiment, our first, second, and third experiments this summer. As thin as this is, it's got 1,450 pounds of breaking strength. So pretty amazing, pretty impressive stuff. But then this is too big for the lunar elevator. We need it to be extra strong for our Earth-based tests, but by the end of summer we won't be using strings like that anymore. The lunar elevator will actually be built as something like this. It looks like dental floss. I always laugh about that sometimes. But this is Xylon. It's extraordinarily strong. This is about 90 pounds worth of strength just with what I have in my hand. And imagine this wrapped up on a spool on a very large rocket, launched to the moon, sink this into the lunar surface, pull this all the way back, not all the way, but towards the Earth, 250,000 kilometers, 250,000 kilometers of dental floss. That's what you're going to start the base structure with. Now eventually you'll build it up. You'll add this string and you'll put another one next to it and then another one next to it and another one next to it to expand it and make it stronger. That's the same way they used to build bridges in the old days. They'd take a bow and arrow, shoot a string across the canyon and pull string more and more and more. And that's what we're going to do with this stuff.
Now, is your company the one that developed these materials?
No, we didn't develop these. We talked to the folks that make Xylon, and they're a Japanese company. And at first there was a language barrier, and they didn't understand just the scope of the string that we were talking about. And we met with their representatives in their headquarters, their American headquarters are in New York, and we literally had to go to the whiteboard and put a comma and an extra 3 zeros on the string, and that's when they understood what we were talking about. But amazingly, 250,000 kilometers of this is only 10% of their annual production, so they absolutely have the capacity to do this. But to put it in perspective, the string that we're talking about is in the range of about 30 Great Walls of China, which sounds like a lot, but it's only about double the amount of string they use to build the Golden Gate Bridge. And the textile industry uses stuff like this every day in bulk. So it sounds very large, but because it's in one roll, but in the end, we use stuff like this all the time.